The UK has its hottest summer ever. Concorde makes its first flight from Heathrow. Bjorn Borg beats Ilie Nastase to win Wimbledon. Nestle invent the Yorkie bar. It's not for girls. And finally, the legend, vocal stylist, the great entertainer, MASH, is 8 years old. What are you laughing at, you bastards? I was gorgeous. Now then, Ramblers. Woo! 1976. Hey, was you laughing at that picture of me? Beautiful. Anyway, 1976. Whew, I'm 8 years old and I'm sweating like a pig. Unbelievable. 3 months of being told you can't use your fucking hose pipe. Whatever. Yeah, 3 months of getting up in the morning, sodding off out and doing whatever you wanted to do all day, as long as you was back in when street lights come on, because that was law. That was law. You used to be playing outside as soon as the lights come on. Wow! Kids running in all directions, scattering like rats. God, yeah, it was absolutely every sun-blessed moment of 76 was the best. Probably my most memorable summer, as in the first 8 years, the one that I do distinctly remember. Fantastic. Can you imagine, right? I was thinking there, imagine the summer of 76 and that fucking whiny, beeling, scruffy little tree-hugging, privileged Swedish kid coming on saying, "You're stealing my future. You're stealing my future." Hey, do you know what my dad would have said? Fuck off. Thunberg, do one. Anyway, hey, let's just put the cup down a sec. Look, I'm spreading the word because all of this is true. Yeah, every single word. So, I managed to dig out another annual. Get a load of this beast. I've got, for your delight, the News of the World Football and Sports Annual 1976. Look at that. Sensational. And the couple of bits I picked out. Love this. Love that there. You've got Pele. Where you gone? You've got Pele, obviously. Yeah, rest in peace, Pele. Ah, lass. I'd never heard of Basses. Pele's died. She went, "Who's he?" I went, "You fucking what?" Unbelievable. How has she got to the age of 48 and don't know who fucking Pele is? Wow. But yeah, check this annual out. Look at that. We'll have a close-up. Jimmy Hill, complete with his pipe. Could he look any more like a wrong 'un if he tried? How was he not part of Operation U-Tree looking like that? I mean, he obviously wasn't like, but hey-ho. So there's Pele. But the interesting thing also in here, there's a there's a section from a guy called Terry McNeil, and if you look there, bearing in mind this was 1976, and it states the Super League is on its way. Wow, that was in 1976, and he predicted that there would be a Super League in the near future consisting of 18 teams. Wow. I mean, he was absolutely fucking nailed on wrong, but I do like a man who talks absolute bollocks. Wrong, you're wrong. Anyway, 76, Liverpool won the First Division. Southampton won the FA Cup. Yeah, massive underdogs. Sports Personality of the Year was John Curry, the figure skater. And as you saw earlier, Bjorn Borg won Wimbledon, beating Ilie Nastase. That's Ilie Nastase. Big one this year, James Hunt. Whenever I think of James Hunt, I also hear, because he was like a posh bloke, but a bit of a cad, I always think he should start every sentence with ding dong. So yeah, James Hunt won the F1 title by just 1 point, controversially. That's controversially, yeah. So right, let's crack on with these 3 TV themes. Remember all of these distinctly. So obviously I was paying attention to telly round about this time. Alright, so here is your first one.
Me say the most horrific, simple ghost, not scientific, merely supernatural buoys of the day. Heavy footsteps in your attic means a spectre telepathic is descending just to spirit you away.
Here's your second one.
Jump in, we'll take you for a spinner, show you round the world. What's going land? Wordsworth, following hard behind. Ready for adventure, always ready.
There you go. That's your 3 TV themes. I'll tell you what there were later on, and I'll elaborate a little. What other shows were occurring? I'll tell you what was. Ivor the Engine. Yeah, Ivor the Engine. Paddington. The Flumps. Fucking Flumps. They're not even a nice... they're not even a nice bit of confectionery either. They're just like shite. It's like putting cat cotton wool in your gob. The Fall and Rise, before the Rise and Fall, of Reginald Perrin. Superb Leonard Rossiter in probably his best role. I thought that was a better role than even Rising Damp. Yeah. What else was on? Swap Shop. Yeah, with Noddle Eggnog. Yeah, and Maggie Philbin, and who was the bloke who got his knob out a few years later? Cheggers. Cheggers plays pop. Cheggers plays pop. Cheggers runs round the studio with his knob out. Fucking hell, how was that a good idea for a TV series? 2 big films of the year. You had Don't Want No Rematch. Adrian! Yeah, you had Rocky. And you also had The Omen with little Damien. Wow. Yeah, I remember The Omen because every photograph that bloke took had a, spoiler alert, had a shard going through them, which meant pretty much imminent death. In music, 76, Bob Marley survived an assassination attack. Assassination? Yeah, somebody tried shooting him in his house in Jamaica, but he survived. This was quite an important first. The Damned released New Rose. Now, New Rose, in the history books, is classed as the first single to be labelled as the punk genre. In fact, the word fucking genre wasn't even around then. So it was the first punk single that was labelled punk. And 2 of these, obviously, went on to release lots of others. The Ramones released their first album. And the Sex Pistols signed to EMI. Eurovision was run by the UK. It was won by the UK. The Brotherhood of Man. Save all your kisses for me. Yeah, the Baxter National Anthem in the house. Christmas #1, Johnny Mathis, When a Child is Born. Liquors in the night, and slowly there, Lord, I hear you. That's how he sang a little bit. All across the land lives a shining star. It comes to pass when the child is born. He used to have the world's biggest fan club. Did you know that? Anyway, get on with this. Have a listen. This is a song that I've recorded from 1976. A little thing called Let Your Love Flow. See you in a bit. There's a reason for the sunshine sky, and there's the reason why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season when that love light shines all around us. Yeah. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can't hide, and then go stealing through the moonlight nights with your lover. Just let your love flow. smallest of dreams and let your love show. Yeah, you'll know what I mean, it's the season. Oh, and let your love fly like a bird on a wing, and let your love bind you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean, that's the reason. There's a reason for the warm sweet nights, and there's a reason for the candle lights, must be the season when those love light shine all around us. So let that wonder take you into space and lay you under in the loving embrace. Just feel the thunder as it warms your face. You can't hold back, no. Just let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean, it's the season. Oh baby, let your love fly like a bird on a wing, and let your love bind you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean, that's the reason. Yeah, just let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean, it's the season. Lord, and let your love fly like a bird on a wing, and let your love bind you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean, that's the reason. Three, two, one. Back in the room. Did you enjoy that? We'll let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love bind you. Great song that is. Do like that. Anyway, crack on, Baxter. Right. The two cars that were released in '76, they made a massive impact. This one here, the Chrysler Alpine. Favoured, it was that good and fast, it was favoured by the filth. Yeah, as you can see. And the other one, which was car of the year, I do believe, was the Ford Fiesta, which is good because it combines a car and a wank mag. Yeah, so that was nice, wasn't it? I used to love Fiesta. Readers' wives' letters. Back wankers, man alive. This was big for them. The Kawasaki KZ1000. Top speed of 132 miles per hour, which is just what you want on the A15, isn't it? Don't get it. Don't get it. Let's check out these prices in the UK. Petrol was up to 77 pence. Pint of ale, pint of courage, or a harp was 33 pence. Not bad. 20 tabs, 45p. 45p for 20 Woodbines or Capstan full strength. Oh, the ones I remember, the first ones I nicked off my dad, what were they? Somebody bought him 100 and they were in a big cylinder and they were JPS black. Fuck me, they took your lungs out. Yeah, but you had to wait till your dad had smoked at least about 15 or 20 out of the 100. So it wasn't obvious that you'd nicked 5 or 6 to go smoking with Jace or Stanley. Bag of Golden Wonder crisps rocketed up to 19p. Oh, supply and demand, I guess, supply and demand. The average house price was between £12,000 and £68,000. Yeah, not a massive difference. The average weekly wage for men had gone up to 65 quid. Brilliant. And the average weekly wage for women was £39. So just under half what the men were getting. Which, again, to me, it still seems a little bit too high just for, like, making fucking tea, writing shit down occasionally that you've been told, and a little bit of light dusting. Yeah, so what you whining about, you no-tails? Get on with it! Couple of firsts from 76. Steve Jobs forms Apple, the company. As we saw earlier, the first commercial Concorde flight from Heathrow. And then check out these 3 confectionery treats that were brought out, all in 76. The double-decker. The Yorkie. Oh, it's not for girls. Fuck me. Imagine bringing that out now with these woke fucking snowflake tools. Yeah, you won't be able to do it, would you? It's not for anybody but non-binary. All right, yeah. And the third one was my particular favourite, the Star Bar. Yeah, which is still my only chocolate-based treat that I tend to treat myself to once in a while if I'm on a long journey to Cardiff or something. In absence, obviously, of the Caramac. The Caramac is more for it's more for nostalgic purposes because it was the first thing that I ever, not the last, but the first thing that I ever got caught nicking from Scunny Market. Yeah, was a Caramac bar. She caught me, didn't she? But you know what I mean, you've got to have a tickle, haven't you? Fashion, turn to the left. Fashion, check this picture out. Fucking idiots was dressed like this in 76. Why? It was the disco look. Disco was starting to make big waves. And it was the halternecks, short shorts, and general glitzy attire to cover up their lack of personality and self-awareness. Yeah, still see people dressed like that occasionally. The must-have Christmas toy. Thankfully, I didn't get one because they were shit. Have a look. Stretch Armstrong. Get this, kids. Do you know what it did? His fucking arms stretched. Yeah, and that's pretty much what it did. Why don't you just buy your kids a pack of fucking bungees and be done with it? And go a lot further, and you can strap shit up on your treader. The biggest seller of 76 was the Peter Powell kite. Yeah? No, me neither. Never heard of him, but it was the biggest seller worldwide. Who was born in 76? Will Mellor. Emma Bunton. Who died in 76? Sid James. Oh, Sid was brilliant in all the Carry On films. And he died on Sunderland Empire stage. And like Tommy Cooper, people thought it was part of the act. Poor bastards just chucked a 6 and they're all laughing at him. But the biggest loss for me in 76 was the death of Paul Kossoff, which was who was the one of the founder members of Free, and just he was a groove master. Sometimes what he didn't play was more impressive than what he did. He was fucking sensational, and sadly missed. Again, I don't understand the world we live in, where Paul Kossoff is dead and like Ronan Keating's alive. It's just wrong. Yeah, it's not right. It's not right. The 2 biggest first names of 76 were Michael and Jennifer. Aye. Right, let's get on with these TV themes. The first one, Rent-A-Ghost. Yeah, you'd have got that as a piece of piss. So I looked at the pitch and the synopsis for the show. This is actually written down. So it says here, so imagine some guy is nipping in to the commissioner and saying, "Oh, I've got an idea for a kids program," and they go, "Oh yeah, we're always looking out for them. Run it by me." So he sits down. He says, "Get this, picture it. Harold and Ethel Meeker live in South Ealing and run a business. Wait for it." Called Rent-A-Ghost. Yeah, and they rent ghosts and poltergeists out to the general public on a daily or a weekly basis. And the guy sat there and he's gone, "Fucking brilliant, we'll have some of that, mate." Yeah, and it was absolute shite. It was. It wasn't even funny. It wasn't. It was trying to get mayhem introduced and just fast paced. It was fucking garbage. Apart from Mr. Claypole, I've still got time for old Claypole. Second one. Did you get it? I'll sing it again for you. Jump on, we'll take you for a ride, take you round the wheelie world, ho, 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 'cause we've got Chorlton Loser Dragon, it'll keep you free from harm. Yeah, Chorlton and the Wheelies. Move on. Shite. And then the last one. Jamie and his magic torch. The premise for the programme, get this, James has a torch, and when it shines on the floor, it opens up a hole in the ground to a fantasy land called Cuckoo Land. Yeah, so he's got torch, and when he shines it on the floor opens up, and he goes to Cuckoo Land. Hey up, Jamie, are you on fucking glue or what? Put that fucking light out, go to sleep. Seriously. And he had a fat old English sheepdog called Wordsworth. And Wordsworth, he was because he was fat, he kept getting stuck in oil when he tried passing through. Jamie's long gone. He's in Cuckoo Land and Wordsworth's still pissing about. Yeah. So the end of it states, once in Cuckoo Land, the fun begins. Obviously, never been on acid then, mate, because fuck, mate, once you're in Cuckoo Land there, and you're on the merry-go-round having a bad trip, you are bollocks for the foreseeable 10 or 11 hours. Yeah, but hey-ho, didn't do me any harm, did it? So there you go. Hey, that was 76. Scorchy house. So thanks for joining us again, and I'm getting a lot of nice comments off you, and a couple of very rude, horrible ones as well, but they're mainly from Rachel. But she's a harsh mistress. So hey, I tell you what, I'll see you up in heaven in 77. You see what I did there? I could be a bingo caller. Piece of piss. Cheers, Easies. See you later. The tracks in my ears.